The Coyote Twin, Vermilion's downtown theater. Providing entertainment Thursdays through Sundays.
Coming up, the new elementary school is bringing changes to the community, making one parent excited for her children.
And the Vermilion School District gets help from USD students in cutting down costs for teachers.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
The time now is 5 o'clock. I'm Michael Stake.
And I'm Hannah Gokenauer. John Thune was re-elected again this afternoon, but first. Teachers in Harrisburg T and Sioux Falls are hosting walk-ins outside of their schools. The effort is intended to bring attention to the next public hearing about the change to South Dakota social studies standards. The new standards were sent out in August after the 2021 standards were withdrawn following a public backlash. Organizers say the South Dakota Education Association and teachers share concerns that the new standards are not age appropriate.
Vermilion voters approved a $26 million bond last year for the construction of a new elementary school. The Vermilion School District hopes the project will be finished by June 2024. One change the district plans is bringing back the art program that hasn't been offered for more than a decade. Parent Katie Casson says she's excited for the change.
I really hope that, the children that are going through school and everything right now will get the opportunities to experience some of that.
The building crews have started work on the foundation and hope to start erecting walls this winter. Jolly and Austin elementary schools will close when the new school opens. School can be difficult enough without worrying about paying for supplies. To help, school supplies were collected last week for the Vermilion Elementary, Middle, and High Schools. The school supply drive was hosted by USD's Schools Psychology Association. Boxes were set up in several campus buildings, and donations included pencils, pens, notebooks, tissues, and more. Vermilion Middle School's principal, Tom O'Boyle, says he's thankful for the Psychology Association's thoughtfulness and generosity.
First of all, we'd like to say thank you very much for thinking about our kids. And, not everybody's in the same boat economically, and this evens the playing field. And we like to say we see tanagers walk in our door. We really don't see anything else. So every kid deserves a great education, and I think this district does a super job. But we're, again, very appreciative of what can be collected and certainly will be used.
O'Boyle says that the Vermilion School District is fortunate to receive donations from local patrons and businesses as well. Though the donation boxes are gone, the Vermilion District welcomes additional supply donations to the schools.
Republican Senator John Thune has broken the curse of Carl. Thune was elected for his fourth term as South Dakota Senator. The curse of Carl comes from the Senator Carl Munt, who was the only other South Dakota senator to win 4 terms. And on the other side of Congress is Republican U.S. Representative Dusty Johnson. He won the vote by 77% and will be serving his 3rd term.
In other political news, the government annual budget address is scheduled for the first Tuesday in December. South Dakota voters approved of a Medicaid expansion measure to help low-income residents obtain health insurance. Now, the governor may need to outline how the state plans to partially fund the expansion. Before November's vote, South Dakota was one of just 12 states that didn't expand Medicaid to people earning up to 138% of the federal poverty level. Advocates say the expansion helps the citizens tap into over $1 billion in federal funds. Governor Noem was opposed to the measure, but now must help lawmakers deal with its effects on the state's budget.
South Dakota pork producers are celebrating after the rejection of a new ban on the new slaughterhouse facilities. In Sioux Falls, voters rejected a proposed ban on the new meat production plants within the city, meaning a Nebraska-based pork manufacturer will continue when its plans to open. The construction will be finished in 2025, and the company says they will start with one shift of 1,000 employees and add shifts of up to 1,200 employees.
When we come back, A fraternity's cooking skills are put to the test to raise money for kids.
In a world where embracing your identity is a privilege not usually given to the members of the LGBTQIA+ community,
the University of South Dakota Spectrum provides community and education for young queer scholars.
sexuality and identity are defined on spectrums.
And having a community of open-minded, inclusive peers provides safety. Spectrum is one reason all Coyotes can call the University of South Dakota their home.
This is Coyote News.
2 USD artists have designed a mural in Centerville, and it's finally complete. Amber Hansen and Reina Hernandez created the design for a mural that pointed on the side of Mushy's bowling alley and bar. The wall was prepared over the summer and painted in the fall. Centerville residents of all ages joined in on the painting process. A dedication ceremony took place last Saturday, where the lead artist talked about their experience creating the piece. The mural represents themes that are inspired by community histories, resulting in imagery that is unique and reflective of the area.
One USD fraternity is using their cooking skills to help children. Recently, Sigma Alpha Epsilon hosted their annual grilled cheese fundraiser. The event proceeds go to the Children's Miracle Network. Philanthropy Chair Nolan Round says his fraternity has built a strong bond with the organization.
Being able to say like we're working with Children's Miracle Network, I mean, even before I was in SAE, I've loved Children's Miracle Network. I've known so many people that were affected by it. My job works closely with it. Just being able to say that we care, and then we do, and work close with children and their families, and being able to raise money for them is just absolutely amazing.
Round says his favorite part about the event is having fun with his fraternity brothers while supporting an organization they all care about. SAE plans to continue their fundraising throughout the year with events such as a backpack drive next month.
Traditionally, November is a time for giving thanks, and the USD Club is honoring those who sacrifice and those who serve. The USD Student Veteran Club held their annual community dinner last Thursday at the Eagles Club. Hex Barbecue centered the fundraiser. Vet Club President Quinn Bundy says the event supports local veterans and brings people together.
The whole camaraderie of the idea, you know, we get the Austin Elementary School in here. We get a whole bunch of people to come and support. A lot of businesses donated and stuff, and it's just all for them, you know, all for what they've done and their sacrifices they've made.
Attendees took part in a raffle drawing for a chance to win prizes from local businesses. Winners were announced at the end of the event. Bundy says he hopes people can take away a feeling of pride for veterans and their families' sacrifices.
Next on Coyote Sports, the basketball teams have a busy week.
And the volleyball team closes in on the end of the regular season.
is Coyote News.
One USD athlete places near the top of a national competition.
And the basketball teams have a busy week. This is Coyote Sports. I'm Keely Thomas.
And I'm Landon DeBoer. The men's basketball team will head to Mississippi today to play the Mississippi State Bulldogs tomorrow. They competed in 2 games last week. In their first game of the week, the Coyotes hosted Lipscomb. Overcoming a first-half deficit, A.J. Plitzowite registered 33 points in the game, along with 5 assists and a pair of rebounds. The Coyotes' second highest scorer was Tassos Kamateros, who put up 17 points in the contest. USD takes this one 85-77. Game 2 of the week saw USD take on Dakota State. In the contest, Plitzowite scored 16 points and tacked on 2 assists. 2 other players scored 15 or more. Paul Bruns tallied 16 points on his afternoon, and the balance scoring extended to Cruz Pero Hunt, who put up 15 points. The Coyotes take this one 82-64. USD's non-conference schedule will go until mid-December when they start Summit League play.
The women's basketball team will host Bellevue tonight at the SCSC. They won once and lost once over the past week. In Game 1 of the week, they hosted the number 21 ranked Creighton Blue Jays. Grace Larkin led the team, scoring 20 points, grabbing 6 rebounds, and dishing out 2 assists. Alexi Hempy added 8 points of her own on the night, but the Coyotes fell 74-51. Game 2 saw the Coyotes travel to Illinois to take on the Bradley Braves. The Coyotes took this one by a score of 71-53. Hempy led the team in scoring with 16 points. Larkins added 13 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and 5 steals on the day. Tonight's game against Bellevue will tip off at 7.
Triathlon athlete Ella Kubas set a school record on the way to finishing 4th place at the USA Triathlon Collegiate National Championships last weekend. The senior improved on her 14th place finish from a year ago by clocking a 1 hour and 5-minute time. Both Cass Delbeck and Chelsea Weber placed top 30 to lead the Coyotes to a 4th place team finish. Coyote News' Sydney Funderman is live in the muck with Kubas to hear about her and her team's recent national success. Sydney?
Thanks, Landon. So Ella, this last Saturday, not only did you finish 4th, but you also set a new school record. How did you feel after finishing that race?
Honestly, I was in shock for a while. It was a lot of emotions, just being my last race as a Coyote and like coming across the line and then seeing all my teammates come across. It was just a lot. I don't really know if I fully soaked it in yet, but I was just really thankful.
And like you said, that was your last meet as a Coyote. You've accomplished a lot throughout your time here. What experience has stuck out to you the most?
Honestly, my team. We have created an atmosphere here that I argue you can't find anywhere else in the nation. So honestly, I wouldn't be here without my teammates and my coaches. So that's really what made my experience the best.
The team placed 2nd at the regional qualifiers. What was the atmosphere like heading into nationals?
The whole thought behind it, our coach just kept saying we don't need to do anything special. We just need to recreate what we did. So that kind of took the pressure off, and he told us going into the race, you guys have earned the right to have some fun and go out there and just work hard. So we had some good vibes going into the race, and we had a lot of fun.
And how do you pace yourself between each leg of the race?
Honestly, most of it you're just redlining and hoping that you'll survive. It's hard, and training honestly really pushes you just to know okay, this is how far I can push without blowing up, and honestly, yeah, pacing and just working on it.
And then finally, what is your favorite leg of the race personally?
Personally, I like swim training the best, but in racing, I like the run. I just like the challenge of it being the last event, and it takes a lot of grit and patience, so yeah.
Well, thank you, Ella, and congratulations on your finish.
Thank you.
Live in the muck for Coyote Sports, I'm Sydney Funderman.
Thanks, Sydney. As Kuba said, the Collegiate National Championship was the last scheduled meet of 2022.
The cross-country team season is complete. They competed at the NCAA Midwest Regional last weekend. Both Marga Gameda and Abrielle Girley finished 65th in their respective divisions. Girley finished her 6K clocking a time of 21 minutes and 21 seconds. Gameda, a three-time All-Summit League selection, closed out his Coyote cross-country career with a personal best in the 10K of 30 minutes and 46 seconds. Gameda was the team leader in every race this season. The volleyball team will host its final two games of the regular season against NDSU and UND this last week. Last week, they grabbed 2 Summit League wins on the road. In Game 1, the Coyotes swept Kansas City. Elizabeth Junkie tallied 21 kills and 19 digs in the contest. Game 2 of the week saw USD defeat Oral Roberts in 4 sets. This win cemented the Coyotes as the Summit League regular season champions. Over the 2-game span, Junkie became the all-time kill leader in Coyote history. She set the school record for the most kills in a season.
The football team will host its final game of the season this Saturday against Northern Iowa. Their record dropped to 3-7 after a loss last week to the North Dakota Fighting Hawks. The Fighting Hawks took this one 28-19. In the game, Aiden Bauman registered 3 touchdowns through the air. On the ground, UND was able to hold running back Travis Tice to just under 100 yards on 14 carries. The game against Northern Iowa will kick off on Saturday afternoon at 1.
That's it for Coyote Sports.
When we come back, we ask students what their biggest pet peeves are. Stay with us.
Hey, do you want to answer a quick question for Coyote News?
Huh? What's the question?
It's about roommates. It'll only take a second.
I don't know.
Come on. All you have to do is talk to me. What's the weirdest thing that you found your roommate doing?
One time I came home from class and she was clipping her toenails on my bed. That was weird and gross.
Hey, look. It's you.
It was weird and gross.
No way.
This is Coyote News.
Have you noticed things that people do that just annoy you?
There are a few things people can do that makes my blood boil.
To find out what other pet peeves there are, we asked students. Here's what they had to say.
My biggest pet peeve is people walking on the wrong side of the sidewalk because it just makes it harder for other people to get through.
My biggest pet peeve is when you're ordering a Frappuccino from Starbucks and you call it a frappe.
People singing along with their headphones.
When someone's shoe gets untied and they don't tie it.
People smacking their lips when they chew.
It's probably when people talk during movies. I just want to watch the movie and people are just talking and goofing off.
I don't know, maybe when people don't use their blinkers.
Feet, more specifically toes.
Probably slow talking, because I'm a really fast talker.
I think my biggest pet peeve is not closing the door when you walk out of the room. That just annoys me.
I don't like kangaroos. I don't know why. They just make me mad.
When people press the button, because you're not supposed to do that.
Slow walkers.
Slow walkers. My biggest pet peeve is slow walkers.
My biggest pet peeve is probably people not owning up to their own mistakes.
It would probably be people chewing really loud or with their mouth open.
Honestly, I'd have to agree with listening to other people chew, chewing with their mouth open. That just makes my blood boil.
I totally agree. I literally have headphones just in case it gets too bad sometimes.
Oh. Well, speaking of food, it's Thanksgiving week. For most, that means lots of food. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food, Michael?
I really like all of them nowadays. Now that I'm cooking the meal, like everything tastes good now.
I don't know. My money's on the gravy. I love gravy. It can go on literally anything. We asked our Twitter followers what food they wanted during Thanksgiving.
And personally, out of this list, I'd have to say turkey.
I'd have to say just happy to eat, honestly.
And it looks like turkey won by 50%.
Makes sense.
There's a lot of people that chose ham that I wouldn't expect that.
I would not mind both, personally.
And that was our last poll for the semester. Follow our Twitter page at USD Coyote News to see what we ask next semester. Vlasic just announced that they will start selling a pickle-scented candle. The limited edition candle looks and smells just like a jar of pickles. Vlasic says it's the real deal. The candle became available on Monday for National Pickle Day, and it's already sold out. The next batch should be ready in early January. And that's all for Coyote News. Join us in 2 weeks for the Red Report.
Pick up the volant to learn how to get involved with Charlie's Career Closet.
Listen to 91.1 tonight for live coverage of USD women's basketball.
If you'd like to be a Coyote News anchor for the spring semester, auditions are scheduled for Wednesday, December 7th, and they're open to all majors. Have a great Thanksgiving break.